Saturday evening in Norman, Oklahoma. Are we going to see the Tennessee Volunteers' playoff hopes take a major blow? Are we going to see the Tennessee fan base who had to wander in the desert for 15 years looking for a winner finally, for the first time in a hot minute, have to eat a little bit of crow, have to temper the expectations just a little bit, have to basically just shut up for a while? Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in that ball game on Saturday night, because this is the only prediction that matters. What up, gang? Lane Carolina Jackpot time coming at you. It is Wednesday evening, and I hope you guys and gals have had a great day today. So Tennessee versus Oklahoma. This is Oklahoma's first foray into SEC play. The Tennessee Vols are currently a 7-point favorite on the road, with the total being set at about 58.5. This is a very interesting matchup, and one that Oklahoma obviously is going to be up for. There's some situational stuff in this game that each side is going to be up for this game for different reasons. But look, this is Oklahoma's first SEC game. It's a home game. Obviously, they are going to be up for it. With that being said, I remember in 1992, South Carolina was up for our first SEC game. Also, we played the Georgia Bulldogs, and guess what? They tongue punched us in the fart box 28-6. Just because you're up for it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win it. You got to have the better team. You got to bring the better product to the field, and that's what we're going to talk about here. Oklahoma is like they're an underdog, a conference underdog. This is the most points they've been a conference underdog by since like 1998. First time they've been a home underdog since 2016. So I guess obviously that means that, well, they're not going to lose. They're going to cover the spread here and they're going to win. Nah, I mean, none of that stuff really means anything. All that stuff is relative. It's just like Michigan, right? They had a 27-game home winning streak, something like that. Haven't lost at home in several years. What happened when they played Texas? I mean, they got drilled. Why? Because Texas is just a lot better team than they are. It doesn't matter. I mean, it matters what you're putting on the field and what the other team is bringing to the table. Both of these teams are 3-0, and look, let's not kid ourselves. Who has looked better this year between Oklahoma and Tennessee? I mean, we've watched both of them play football. Which one looks better? I mean, I don't think the answer is, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to give you the answer to that question. Tennessee has looked much better than Oklahoma. And the fact of the matter is, when I look at Tennessee, I really don't see a clear-cut weakness. Like, I can't say, well, your offense is pretty good, but your run game's not, you're kind of lacking there. But they're not. Or I could say, well, your pass protection's not real good. Well, it's not. Or, your secondary is suspect. But it's really not, and we don't know. Right? We don't know the answers to all those questions. The Volunteers, I feel like some of the data points are a little bit screwed up because of the level of competition you faced for 3 weeks. Now, the NC State, yes, okay, that was a decent team, I guess, but let's not kid ourselves. The other two tomato cans you played, it's hard to take anything away from that other than you can score a lot of points and you can shut out bad teams. With Oklahoma, I look at them and look, you played 3 teams that you should have rolled, but you only rolled one of them, and that was Temple, and they were with them and the Kent State that Tennessee played. Those 2 teams are probably they're in the bottom 3 in terms of FBS teams, of which one's the worst. They're absolutely horrible. But you kind of, you didn't play that great against Temple, especially in the first half. You didn't take care of business until the second half, and that team just doesn't have any depth. It's worn down and yada yada yada. You beat them 51-3. Amazing. Something that's very concerning to me is your offensive line in terms of protecting Jackson Arnold. You've given up 3 sacks in each of your 3 games. So if you're good at math, let me help the Tennessee fans out with that one. It means you've given up 9 sacks this year, Oklahoma. It's not good. Especially given the level of competition you've played. Tulane is the only team there that's valid. And yeah, Houston not a valid team. I know they're a power conference team right now, and Tulane is not, but Tulane is the one that looks more like a power conference team than Houston. They actually look worse now that they're in a power conference than they did when they were in the group of 5. But that's neither here nor there. We're not really comparing that. I think in this game, what we're going to see, the way this is going to play out here, is I just think that you're going to have trouble, Oklahoma, moving the football. Tennessee's defense has been really, really good, and yes, I can continue to point out the level of competition, but until we've seen them give up a bunch of yards, it stands to reason they're not going to give up a bunch of yards. Your rush attack has been awful. It's been absolutely terrible outside of the game against Temple, and I don't count that. You have not been able to run the football effectively all year long. Your quarterback's been your leading rusher in 2 games. You really don't want to see that. You want to see a more balanced attack. The loss of several offensive linemen to the transfer portal looks to have hurt you pretty significantly, and I don't think that this is the team that you have that get-right game against. And defensively, you are you're not elite. You're a good defensive team. You can tell that Brent Venables is your coach, defensive-minded head coach, a longtime former defensive coordinator at Oklahoma and Clemson, of course. Did a really, really, really good job for quite a number of years. But I just think that playing this high-powered Tennessee offense, I think eventually what's going to happen here is what a lot of folks thought would happen with the Gamecocks this past week. I think you're going to struggle to move the ball. I think that you're going to get some stops here. Now, I don't know with the offense that Tennessee runs. I don't know how Venables plans on dialing up coverage here for this. They don't normally play teams that run this kind of offense, but is he going to go with man coverage or going to do zone? Are they going to? It's a tough offense to defend, and not a lot of teams do it very well. But I think that anyone who's going to defend it would be a Brent Venables-led team. So I think they're going to. I don't know how much pressure you're going to be able to get on Nico. He will make some mistakes. He's thrown a few interceptions this year, so I feel like he's going to make some mistakes on Saturday night. But in the end, I really think that your defense is going to tire out later on in the second half. I don't think Tennessee's going to pour it on because I don't think they're going to be able to pour it on. I still think you're going to get a really good effort from that Oklahoma defense. It's just not going to be quite enough to get you there. I have Tennessee winning the game. I'm going to pick them to cover the spread too. I'm going to go 31. I'm going to go 31-17 here. It may be too many points for Oklahoma, honestly. It may be too much for Tennessee. Maybe 28-13, 28-10, something sounds right. I like the under in this game. I like the under because I don't think that Tennessee's going to score anywhere near the number of points that they've been used to scoring in these games, but I don't think Oklahoma's going to help get that total up a lot. I think that we're going to have kind of a muddied up game for a while. I think the crowd's going to be taken out of it and is not really going to be a huge factor. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's the pick I have to make here. I'm going to go Tennessee 28, Oklahoma 13. So that would give you a 15-point road victory. That's a pretty damn good win. And I don't care that Oklahoma's ranked 15th. And you can say, well, they're overrated, blah, 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 whatever. It's still a very, very good win for Tennessee. Probably we'd have to mark that up as, it's not on par with that win over Alabama a few years ago, but it's not that far off. I mean, going to Norman, Oklahoma and winning is no small accomplishment. So I'm going to take you to win here and cover the number. Now, this is only the beginning for Tennessee. Your schedule this year it's manageable, so you should be able to make the playoffs. I don't know that you're going to beat. I look at Alabama. I look at Georgia. Both of them have obvious flaws. I don't think that you're going to be able to beat Georgia in Sanford Stadium. I don't see it happening. I think the Alabama game at this point to me is a 50-50 toss-up. In my preseason prediction, I had you getting upset by Kentucky at home. Now, after Kentucky lost to the Gamecocks, that was like, what in the world was I thinking there? But then, looking at Kentucky this past weekend, it's not unthinkable that could happen. So college football is weird. This is why we really love it, despite all of the raising ticket prices, putting fees on tickets, NIL, paying this guy, transfer portal, my favorite player is going to go play for another team, blah, blah this, blah, blah that. We as fans put up with a lot of BS. We do. To still be able to enjoy our favorite sport. So, that's Carolina Jackpot's prediction on that one. Tennessee 28, Oklahoma 13. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about this game, and I will see you guys later on. Appreciate it. Peace, and I'm out of here. Go Gamecocks.